Ballymaloe Original Relish, a showstopper. Proud sponsors of At Your Service.
Francis and John Brennan are five-star hoteliers who are renowned for their attention to detail. Only the best is good enough, and after 3 decades, they're still at the top of their game. They want to bring their expertise to hospitality businesses that are badly in need of the Brennan's magic touch. This week, John and Francis have an international challenge. They've been called in to help an American and an Irishman who have gone into business together.
We park up the bus.
Irishman Stephen is a professional tour guide, and American Patrick is a pharmaceutical entrepreneur. They've invested in a 10-bedroom guest house in Dingle, one of the country's tourism hotspots. The guest house has been closed for 4 years, and they have grand plans, but no experience.
Now, let's see what this is.
Before they visit, the Brennans want to get an idea of what this Irish-American duo are up to.
Look at the location. Yeah, it's right on the water. You know, you go out of town and over the bridge. I know it, like.
You know, he has a love of Ireland for years, loves it as much as me, and he said, I want to invest in Ireland, have you any ideas? And I said, I have an idea, but no.
And the rest is history. Within probably 2 months, we had this whole plan hatched.
So it was a quick purchase on a dream, I'd say. You want to have a dog or a horse, is it? You could charge for kids' rides on that.
It was originally a farmhouse, but has had such Hollywood stars as Robert Mitchum and Sarah Miles staying here. When I saw the interiors for the first time, the first thing that went through my head was my grandmother would think this is outdated.
This looks as if now they bought the house yesterday, decided to open today, and they just bought a rake of furniture and threw it into it. I know it is thrown together, all right. That's not nice. So look at that couch with that big blanket thrown over it. Yeah.
We need a bit of extra chutzpah just to push us up there, because, you know, we need to charge high-end money per room for this business to work. But we also then have to have 5-star quality as well.
And look at the lampshades. They're all skew-ways. If you had a good fight in that room, it wouldn't be as bad.
The main reason we invited the Brennans in, we were feeling a wee bit out of our depth. So we figured it's time to call in the A-team.
Oh, well, you be Mr. T, will you? I'll have to get the gold bracelets or whatever it is that he wears.
What I'd really love the Brennans to achieve here is to put Milltown House back into one of the top 5 guest houses in Dingle.
Top 5 doesn't seem hard, but in Dingle, it's a different kettle of fish.
It's April, and Patrick has returned to California to attend to his business interests. He's left Stephen at the helm.
Hello.
And Francis is here to find out more about the grand plans for Milltown House.
Hiya, Francis.
Hello there, how are you?
Good, welcome to Milltown House.
Nice to be here.
You have a few options for getting in here.
I see that. I saw a blank wall when I came through.
The feng shui is not great here.
Well, no, I'd call it an architect problem, not feng shui.
Yeah, right.
Over the next couple of days, this 10-bedroom guest house is getting a Brennan business overhaul.
Now, Francis, this is the most famous bedroom in Dingle. This is the Robert Mitchum room.
All right. Oh, no, don't do that. You ruined the bed.
Sorry.
Put on that rester thing there, that's fine.
So Mitchum lived here himself for a full year, 69, and there's all sorts of legends and rumours associated with this room, not just the great sea view.
I'll talk to you later. Thank you. Look at that now. Not a thing in the folder. Now, immediately I notice attention to detail just in this corner. We have a clock, it's not on, which is wrong. We have this all twisted and turned. And our little glass cover is completely off-centre. So just in this one area, 3 things wrong. This is meant to be the TV cable, but I don't know what to do with it. Whether you sing into it or say, room service. Should always be down, boys.
Francis wants to make a full inspection of all areas of the guest house.
Now, what's going on here is all a bit too much for me. And this is a garden patio room. Well, no, that's not much of a view.
Hi, Francis. This used to be the breakfast buffet room here.
All right.
The previous owners. So what
do you call it today?
Well, now it's like the jumble sale.
All right.
It's just junk.
You can see that, yeah. But what are your plans for here now?
Well, we would like to use this room to make us some revenue. Our big plan here would be either a bar with a library or a library with a bar in it.
Right.
The guests could come in here and have a glass of brandy and pick off a book off the shelf and sit on a red Chesterfield sofa and just relax.
And tell me now, do you have a licence?
No, but we have been led to believe by reliable local sources that we'd be entitled to some form of a licence.
Yeah, but hold on now, don't build a bar without a licence because you might never have one.
I think that even if we didn't have a licence, we should have a bar. This is a house that housed Robert Mitchum and all the great parties of Hollywood stars in 1969. And to me, Milltown House needs a bar.
But you want to check all that out now. No one is spending money on something you can't use.
Okay.
Mind yourself there now.
So Francis, this is our breakfast room, or the conservatory as well.
And what are your plans for breakfast now?
Well, we want to have the best breakfast in Dingle. We want our guests to go away from here thinking, you know, you've got to go back and stay in this place because of the breakfast alone.
And tell me now, who's going to be cooking that breakfast or looking after that area?
Well, on the off-season, believe it or not, I'll be cooking a lot of it myself.
Right.
We do have local chefs, however, hired as well when we have the big volume. When the house is full, it will always be a professional chef.
But like, one of the most important things for you is to keep cost under control. And you just want to watch that you haven't fellas coming in and out in 2 days here and 3 days there, because I can tell you, it'll eat money no end.
There's a lot for the Brennans to think about. This is a new business, but it's been run by inexperienced owners, one of whom is on the other side of the planet.
Voila!
Next morning, and Stephen is out of his comfort zone.
So right now it is a bit nerve-wracking cooking for Francis Brennan. I hope he likes his rashers smoked. From going around the country as a tour guide, sometimes breakfasts are just too fatty and it needs to be like attention to detail. Voila, Francis Brennan. Breakfast of champions. Okay, Francis, here's your breakfast.
Thanks very much.
Cooked by my own hands.
A good man.
Yeah.
You're multi-talented.
The breakfast of champions is going down well. And Francis's brother John has arrived in Dingle to cast his expert eye over Milltown House. The first thing he wants to do is discuss the guest house's finances with Stephen.
On the one hand, our budget is very limited.
Right.
On the other hand, there's a potentially big budget. If Patrick in particular can see the cost benefit
Right.
to investing in this, we can find the money, particularly
Okay.
through his sources in America.
Right. And how much are you for a double room tonight?
Well, our aim is to sell somewhere between 150 and 175 euros.
When the work is done?
When the work is done,
Okay,
that's our top
Your
end.
goal.
I don't think we'll ever be higher than that.
So 175, it's saucy. And from a service point of view, it needs to be up here. Are we happy we can go there?
I think we're not at that stage yet, but I think
Right.
we'll definitely get there. Even though that's a very high rate, you know, we have a supreme location here.
Yes.
Customer service is going to be fantastic, and the rooms will eventually be top-notch as well.
In this area here now, there's quite a bit of serious competition with some very fine houses. Do you see yourself going above them, or do you see yourself meeting their standards?
Well, I don't think we'll be able ever to go above them. There's
Right.
5 top-class houses in Dingle
Yes.
that are the best in the country.
Yes.
If we can get into that top 5, we'll be delighted.
Yeah.
After consulting John, Francis is ready to give his verdict.
My biggest worry is that we're so close to the season. To do anything major here now is a rush. And you need cash flow, I presume, like every new business starting out.
Absolutely.
So we need to get the doors open and get people in here.
Do you think if we got a designer in now that it could be possible to get the job done by, we were thinking maybe a week it would take?
Yeah, well now, have your carpets ordered? Don't say no, because if you say no, it takes at least 8 weeks to get carpets in Ireland. And that's if you pick a stock item.
8 weeks?
I'm telling you.
See, our fear is then it might not have a whole degree of continuity around the place, but it come then.
Can I tell you, I prefer the money coming in the door than
yeah.
having continuity for this year. Okay?
Right.
Now, going on to the bar, I would forget about the bar for this year. Absolutely forget about the bar. First of all, it could be August before you get the licence, technically. So I'm not sure that you should go that road at all.
You see, when Patrick and I decided to buy this place, we had a daydream, and that was Milltown House. And part of that daydream was having an Irish wolfhound running around the place.
Well, we got that.
And having a bar.
Yes.
I think when I break the news to Patrick over Skype tonight that Francis Brennan says no bar,
Yeah, he'll go mad.
he'll have a thrombosis.
Yeah, okay. But you better tend to send over 6 men here to get the shelves built, library, as you were describing, library, bar library, whatever, okay? I think for a bar licence, the timing the work to be done, it wouldn't be finished in 4 months, and your season has gone by. So
Would you be prepared to be surprised on that one?
I'd be thrilled. I'll be here myself to see it.
Yeah.
If you want to say to me, I'll have it ready in 3 weeks, I'll be here. Now, on a personal level, I have to get hard on you now, because you'll have to decide if you are a tour guide or a guest house operator, because there is no way that you will be able to handle both of those to the satisfaction of the house. Because unless you're here giving personal service, it will not be high-end, because you have to put your own personal stamp on it. Anyway, there's the list. There's a number of things in there that you have to work on immediately.
I thought Francis's advice was very constructive. I agreed with a lot of it. Not all of it, but a lot of it. I think it is possible to be ready in a few weeks for tour season. I think Francis might get a wee surprise when he comes back here next and finds a bar and new carpets for him to walk around with his bedroom slippers on.
Now, I've spoken to Stephen, I've told it to him straight, I've explained to him what needs to be done. I'm not sure he's going to do it, but the ball is in his court.
Stephen wants to share Francis's verdict with his transatlantic business partner.
Said a lot of things. Here's the big one, I think, for now. He said forget the bar idea. He thinks the bar is a big no-no.
For us to do things like having a bar, having Seamus the Wolfhound running around the front yard, those are things that build the character of Milltown House. Whether we end up losing a couple €1,000 on the bar or not, that's really insignificant in the long run.
All right, man, well, listen, I'll let you go. There's the new Titanic Visitor Centre. This costs 100 million, so I'm glad you said wow.
The Brennans have told Stephen he has to give up tour guiding, and today is his last tour.
I'm the king of the world!
I don't feel great about it, to be honest. I think I need to give up my tour guide career for Milltown House to be completely successful. But at the same time, I'm giving up the greatest job in the world. So it's going to be a tough one for me, but I know I have to do it.
It's a month later, and back in Dingle, the Brennans want to make sure this rookie starts out on the right path. There's huge potential trade in this part of the world, and the Brennans want to place the guest house firmly on the tourist map.
Now, this is one of the busiest tourist offices in the country, but we can't go in because you're not registered. So the sooner you get registered, the sooner we can go in there and get business.
Being registered will mean Stephen is in a much stronger position to promote his business. But there's one piece of advice Stephen has chosen to ignore. Despite Francis's warning not to go ahead without a license, Stephen has employed a designer to begin building a bar. Patrick Wade and Stephen McPhillamy are good friends and business partners who co-own Milltown House, a 10-bedroom guest house in Dingle that's been closed for the past 4 years. It's an Irish-American dream, and the Brennans want to prevent it becoming a nightmare. However, Stephen's ignoring a vital piece of the Brennans' advice, and though he doesn't have a licence, he's building a bar.
We think Milltown House is so full of legend and character that it needs to have a bar. Robert Mitchum was bringing in 500 old Irish pounds a week in alcohol in here, so that old mystique and aura is attached to the building, you know.
Today, Francis is taking Stephen to a successful guest house in Shannon.
Hello.
Hello, how are you? You're very welcome.
Good to see you, Julia.
How are you?
This is Stephen.
Hi, Stephen. How are you?
To discover the reality of running a guest house bar.
And look, Francis, a bar, look at this.
Oh, yeah. Now, a bar is an obsession with
Right.
Stephen. But you tell him the truth now.
Well, do you like late nights?
I like this bar, that's what I know. I do
Answer the
late
question.
Nights. Late nights, I do like them, but
But it's hard work.
It is hard work and it's long hours. You know what I mean? It does add hours to your day.
does it make much money for you?
No, not enough to justify it.
Is there much crack here at night, though? I'm sure.
Well, there can be some nights.
That's all part of it, isn't
There
it?
has been great sessions, all right, but
We'll go back and see after 2 years, you'll see how much crack is in it.
you know, you've got to think of your residents upstairs that are sleeping, you know, and in the long run, you make more money out of your accommodation than you do out of your bar.
So it adds hours to your life with a very poor return.
Yes.
This is an award-winning establishment, and Francis also wants Stephen to find ideas for his rooms.
Now, and this is one of our 4-poster bedrooms.
Oh, very nice. Look at this now, Stephen.
Yeah, that's
Isn't it
what we
nice?
want. That's ideal.
Like, and everything is coordinated, lovely blue. Like, this is the sort of thing now that we'll be aiming for yourself. And Chris, and you see the telephone as an example? You see the wire? It's wrapped around the phone rather than hang it down loose or in a twist.
That's the way it's supposed to be?
Yes, absolutely. Good girl, Gillian. Full marks. Things like that are important.
Yeah, I never even thought about that.
That's why we have you here.
Exactly.
Now, do you think that was worthwhile?
Well, I'm not just saying this, but I think you couldn't have had a better fit.
Now, you need to keep in touch with them, because that's where they'll feed business down to you. So that's what you have to do. That's your first big connection.
Great contacting me, thank you.
Stephen realises if he's to raise standards, he cannot run the guest house single-handedly, so he's brought in staff to help him out.
Yeah. Bit of damage on the grass there. Yeah,
but despite this, when the Brennans return 3 weeks later, they're concerned at the lack of progress.
Little things, crooked light switches, no valances on the beds, no lampshades in the room, a cardboard box of tissues on the sideboard, and they're the little details that make the difference between €100 a night and €185 a night.
This is a premium quality site.
Yeah.
And you're not going to get premium prices.
And despite their advice, work continues on the bar.
And do you think putting money into the bar as opposed to renovating bedrooms is wise?
It's hard to say if it's wise, but it's essential. You know,
No, wait, no, hold on. I don't believe it's essential. Why is it essential?
Well,
it's not essential. It's a dream of somebody,
Yeah.
all right? But it's uneconomic.
It's going to cost about 12 grand for the bar all in. Will that bar make us 12 grand this year? No.
Next
Well,
year?
Next year, probably not.
No.
But you never know. That's the thing.
Well, I'd be very surprised. Now, I'm kind of disappointed because he hasn't listened to anything I said.
I know. Do you know, there's one thing wrong here, okay? Experience. And there's no experience. And there's no understanding of what the guest sees when they walk through the front door. It's all a big dream and a big picture, but the little small details that make all the difference, that justifies the high price, is missing.
Yeah.
Things aren't shaping up. And although designer Caroline is trying to build a bar, the room hasn't even been cleared.
Well, I was raging last night when I delivered the stuff because I had people help me carry in all the gear and there was no place to put it.
3 months ago, Stephen told Francis he could build a bar in 3 weeks.
This is only one element of this room. This is the rest of it. You know, there's bookcases to go in and furniture and, you know, there's painting, there's plumbing, electrics have to be sorted out up there. You know, getting all those guys in the line it takes time. And now we're coming up to the builders' holidays. It's going to be fun.
Well, I see the Californian flag is flying anyway.
Yeah, the one star might be an omen, is it?
I don't know.
It's now July, and both the Brennans and Patrick are back for a catch-up.
Hello there. How are we? Good to see you.
John,
Hey,
nice
Francis,
to
good to be here. Welcome back.
Have you done loads of work?
Loads.
I'm dying to see it.
In here now we have the big change.
Well, now, I'm really looking forward to this. Haha. This is the bar you shouldn't have built.
I'd say it's far from a lost cause. We think this will be up and running in 2 weeks.
Oh, you will get it up and running in 2 weeks, but when will it make money?
Oh, well, that's not our idea.
Oh, that's an awful question, Stephen, isn't it?
Well, we understand it's important to make money, but that's not the priority for this year.
Right.
There's this thing called the crack as well.
Do you know the biggest problem with a crack? Money falls into it.
The bar is costing a whopping €12,000.
And do you think was that a good investment now?
Well, it might not be our best investment.
And they've splashed out another $1,200 on a painting.
At this stage in the business, you need to spend your money wisely. And spending money on art when there's lampshades missing here is not money well spent.
And they've also bought new garden furniture for another €400.
And you're spending money here now rather than in the rooms. Do you think that's a good idea?
Well, we're spending money here and in the rooms. I mean, €400 wouldn't go far in the rooms. Since you were here last, we've invested a lot of money on televisions. We put a big TV on every room with 200 channels. Cost us, what, the guts of 6 grand?
7,000 euros.
Right. What worries me about here now is there's things been happening and there's money been spent on art and on televisions and a whole lot of things like this out of the blue. And there doesn't seem to be a goal at the end of it that has an absolute 100% vision to get to. And it's a shame.
What do you think of that?
I think you're probably right. I think that we have so many things that we could do to improve the experience of Milltown House that maybe we can narrow down our priorities a little bit better.
I'm not sure you come to Dingle to a house like this to watch 200 channels or sit in a bar that's in the house, but that's only my thinking.
And if you want a motor to the top end of the top dollar, which I'm sure you do, right, you're going to miss it.
Okay.
Because you need to have everything right, okay? And everything isn't right, which worries John and I.
I think the Brennans were a bit hard-hitting today. Hit me a bit hard, but that's why we are here. You know, we want to get their advice. They're the experts. We're the rookies. We're trying to learn.
I can see where they're coming from with the advice on the bar. However, to follow that advice, I think would compromise the dream that Stephen and I have. The dream will never die.
The Brennans want them to hold an official opening as soon as possible. And Stephen realises if this is to be successful, he needs to get down to work and make sure the place is in the best order it can be.
Oh, well, we have a new sign.
6 weeks later, and today is Francis's final visit. Has Stephen made the dream come true?
How are you?
Welcome back.
Listen, all sorts happening. New signs.
New sign.
A lovely garden. I don't know how you did it so quick.
Well, I didn't do it, but somebody did it.
Yeah, I see furniture here too.
Yeah,
I'm dying to see what's happening inside.
Come on.
Yeah.
At last, Milltown House is finding favour with the Brennans. Stephen has taken their advice and is in the process of registering the guest house.
And this is our Robert Mitchum suite done up a wee bit.
Oh, now it's a big change from the last time I was here anyway.
As Francis feared, there's been no time to order new carpets. But the Robert Mitchum room has been smartened up.
No, it looks very well now. Now, what about price for this room? What sort of price are you on?
People have spent 150 here and they're happy with it because the view is unrivaled in the whole of Dingle and the Robert Mitchum story adds to the aura of the room.
I noticed a great attention to detail. Congratulations.
Well, that's good to hear. Your last visit hit us pretty hard. You know, we had to sit down and have a think.
Like it feels together now.
The bar the Brennans never wanted built is now complete, but their licence is still being processed. However, Stephen and Patrick remain committed to their Irish-American dream.
What about guest reaction to it?
They love it.
Yeah?
Oh, they're delighted to sit in here at night and sit on the red Chesterfields and talk about Irish history and Gaelic football, and we have a whiskey together or a coffee or whatever it may be, and just bliss.
Well, as long as you're happy anyway. If I was a bank manager, I'd be going mad, but that's fine.
Today is the official reopening of the business. And after being closed for 4 years, Stephen is throwing a garden party to open the guest house.
Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you very much for joining us here at Milltown House. Stephen, as you know, has been working like a Trojan all summer long, getting things in order, and I'd just like to congratulate him and wish him the very best for the future. So, Stephen, thank you.
Thanks.
Good man.
Formalities over, the party can begin. Stephen wants to ensure it's a great day for all ages.
Imagine talking about football in Kerry.
There's a good turnout, and Stephen is confident that today's event will create a local buzz about the revamped business. It's important everyone leaves the party with a good impression.
I'm more than pleased with how it's going. I mean, everybody that's important here, all our new friends in the Dingle community here, and it's just one of the best communities in Ireland to live in and to, you know, bring tourists to. It's just fantastic. The one big thing missing, of course, is the fact that Patrick's not here. Don't want to sound too dramatic, but I do miss him here. He's half this whole dream, and it would have been brilliant to have him here, and it's breaking his heart. I know it is over in California. He's a tough businessman, but he's a big softie when it comes to Dingle.
And Stephen's faith in the pulling power of Hollywood legend Robert Mitchum has been rewarded.
Well, I'm a big fan of Ryan's daughter. I saw the movie when it came out, and then I learned about a lot of the making of Ryan's daughter, which really interested me.
When I found the Milltown house, I was excited to see that it was used by Robert Mitchum when they were filming Ryan's daughter. I knew my dad would love to stay in that room.
I was delighted working with Stephen. It was a bit of crack. There was heads banging, but we got there in the end, and I'm really happy.
Hey! When I met Stephen first, I was a little worried because I felt he was a bit of a dreamer. But judging by what I've seen today, he's done a good job. And all it needs now is plenty of hard work, and I just hope he's up to it.
Nevin Maguire meets up with Ray Darcy and cooks herb-crusted hake on Wednesday night at 7:30 here on RT1. But next tonight, the main evening news and weather.